Hello, everyone. It's Adam Caplan here for Inside the Birds. It's our mock draft audio-visual style, number 2.02. And on today's show, we are going to do picks 13 through 21. So let's go over, first of all, what did we do picks 1 through 12 in the first round, of course. We're only doing a one-round mock draft. Titans, of course, at number 1, Cam Ward. Got to do it. Major need. You hope if you're the Titans, you're never there again. They have a lot of needs. I know some people think they should trade down, but quarterback supersedes any need. Got to get that. Cam Ward, number 1 of the Titans. Number 2, to the Browns. This one comes down to Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter. Either would be a great pick. Hunter, of course, could play receiver where they're a little bit light, but he's going to play corner in the National Football League. That'll be his main position. We're going to go with Travis Hunter here to the Browns. Third pick. Now, we know even if the Giants shocked us and got Aaron Rodgers, okay, he's a one-year solution. I don't care what the contract looks like. They still need a future quarterback. Yes, they have Jameis Winston, but he doesn't factor in long-term. It's only on a one-year deal. They need to figure out the quarterback position for the future. And because of that, we're going with Shedeur Sanders out of Colorado. Number 4, it comes down here to the Patriots, and they need edge rusher help in the worst way. Sure, they could use a left tackle. They need receivers. Yes, there's no receiver you would take here. Abdul Carter is the best player on the board. Let's hope he checks out medically for those Patriots. At number 5, the Jaguars, for the second straight time, we're going to go with Mason Graham, the D tackle of Michigan. They need corner. They need D tackle. They need edge, depth, safety, and running back. But Mason Graham's the best player on the board for them in a position of need for the future and for current needs. And we're going to go with Mason Graham there. At number 6, boy, the Raiders have a host of needs on both sides of the football. But for the sake of their situation right now and for the future, we'll go with McMillan, the receiver out of the University of Arizona, who will go in the upper half of the first round. This is maybe a little bit early. We'll learn more as we go forward, but we're going to stick with McMillan, the receiver here from University of Arizona at number 6. Number 7, I know a lot of people want Tyler Warren. I get it. A lot of Jet fans want Tyler Warren. Tyler Conklin has moved on at tight end. They won't move on to the Chargers. They don't have a tight end who could start. But offensive line's a position of need. Will Campbell will be the pick here, as we told you when we did the first half of this last week. So we're going to go with Will Campbell to the Jets. At number 8, we went with Mykel Williams, the edge rusher from Georgia. Got to get it. They got to get the best edge rusher and turn that card in, Dan Morgan. That's for the Panthers at number 8. We'll stay in the NFC South at number 9. For the Saints, this is not an easy call because they have a future need at quarterback. It's a little bit early for a quarterback here. Of course, if Shedeur Sanders dropped there, that's a different story. Corner's a need for now in the future. And so wide receiver isn't really a need now, but it's for the future. We're going to go with Jalen Walker here. He is an inside linebacker, outside linebacker. He's a utility piece. You could play him in a variety of positions. Long-term, though, it seems to me he'll be more of an inside player than outside player. 10, we went with Mike Green. The Bears need edge rushers in the worst way. They need receivers and corners, but Mike Green is the edge rusher. Let's hope off the field stuff checks out for him. At 11, we went with Kenneth Grant. The Niners can't even line up at D tackle now for the future. Grant went at number 11 to the Niners. Number 12, this guy is highly thought of in the scouting community. And the Cowboys have a variety of needs. Walter Nolan, the D tackle of Mississippi, will clearly go in the first round. He could go later, but we're going to stick with Walter Nolan to the Cowboys at number 12. Now at number 13, as we get started for today's part of the mock draft, we're going to go 13 through 21. In the first one for the Dolphins at 13, we went with Kenneth Grant. He is gone. So we moved down, and here's the thing with the Dolphins. They've never really, under this front office, it's really been a long time since they built a quality offensive line. It's time that the Dolphins address it, get it right, and they're going to go with Armand Membu here, the offensive lineman from Missouri who could play guard or tackle. You plug him in, he starts year 1. Start building a quality offensive line. That's what Chris Greer's got to do there with the Dolphins. That's at 13. Number 14, well, we For the Colts at 14, we had Colston Loveland, who, by the way, I'm told by multiple teams. I know at least two teams that have Colston Loveland over Warren for grades. Now, I don't know what the Colts have, but I do know this. When you see the situation, get the tight end position right. I know they have some offensive line needs, center and guard, but Tyler Warren is the best player on the board. Quite frankly, it's Loveland or again Warren. It depends who you speak with, but I would think at this point, I haven't talked to 32 teams about Warren, but we're going to go with Tyler Warren. He's the best player on the board, the tight end out of Penn State, and he's a plug-and-play guy year one for the Colts at number 14. Number 15, we went with Nick Scorton the first time around. James Pierce has got more upside. We're going to go with Pierce, the edge rusher from University of Tennessee. And man, do the Falcons need edge rushers. They need a center. Drew Dahlman moved on. Be playing elsewhere. They need a corner. They need a D tackle and a safety. But we're going to with James Pierce for the Falcons at 15, the best edge rusher on the board. And now it comes to number 16. Although you could argue the guy that we're going to go to the Cardinals with went with Shamar Stewart, the edge rusher from Texas A&M the first time at the Cardinals. They have more bodies, okay? They have more players at the edge rush group. Baron Browning is back, who's had a big injury history, but is a good player. They added Josh Sweat. Yep, good football player. No doubt about it. Zaven Collins he's sort of a inside-outside linebacker, and B.J. Ojulari, who's not coming to his own yet. You can never have enough edge rushers. I'm sure Jonathan Gannon could tell you that. He learned that in 2022 with the Eagles with that great pass rush group that had 70 sacks. We're going to go with the best player on the board here for those Cardinals who have yet to build a world championship defense. Let's do it once again with Shamar Stewart, the edge rusher from Texas A&M, to the Cardinals at 16. At number 17, look, I went with Derek Harmon. That was a need pick for the Bengals at 17 the first time around. He's a D-tackle of Oregon. But they have a terrible offensive line. Remember, folks, when you look at their offensive line, okay, if we're being honest here, you've got the two stud receivers. They brought them back. Great job by the Bengals. Oh, by the way, Bengal fans, if you're listening, I did a really fun show with Carl Pickens, legendary former Bengals receiver. We did a 40-minute interview. You can find it on all of our podcasting platforms. He was incredible. We talked about Chase and Higgins with Carl last week. Check that out. But really, when you look at it, they don't have a stud in the interior. And Marius Mims, I mean, he showed some upside, no question. Orlando Brown's their left tackle. But that's it. They need more studs. And we're going to go for an offensive lineman here. The best player on the board is Kelvin Banks, who may play guard this year. He as I talked about in the first mock, which we did last month, some teams may think he's not long enough, so he may play inside. But he's the best player on the board at a major position of need. And now for the future, it's Kelvin Banks for the Bengals at 17. Now at 18. This guy, first of all, for the Seahawks at 18. Gray Zabel had a great Senior Bowl week. I'm told by people I trust, he's going to go in the first round. He meets a major need for the Seahawks offensive line. No, they've not got it right in a number of years. For the second time, we're going with Gray Zabel, who could play tackle or guard, but he probably would play guard for the Seahawks at this point at number 18. At number 19, boy, I know they got to get younger at inside backer, but they don't need to take one here. They need a corner. I know they have enough edge rushers, but remember, it's about the future. And they can use a left guard, but they need an upgraded corner. It's not about how many corners you have. It's about how talented they are. Jahdae Barron, to me, is the best player on the board at a position of need for the future, and somewhat for now, and we'll go with him once again. We did in the first mock. And then now at number 20, how could it be anyone but AshtonJeanty, right? Major need at running back. Estime is not a starting running back. They also need D tackles, inside backer safeties, and could use a tight end. They don't need to do one now that they got Evan Ingram. But they need a running back badly here, and it's AshtonJeanty for the second time in a row. And finally, to the Steelers at number 21. Now, we had Luther Burden going because at the time we did it, they had not made the trade for Metcalf. Now they have. And remember, their heavy 12 personnel team, even if they get Aaron Rodgers, which seems likely, I don't see them really changing up the thought process here of going heavy 12 personnel. They're loaded at tight end. Yes, they need a quarterback, but this is too early for me for a quarterback. They need a corner, no question about it. Darius Slay's on a 1-year deal worth $10 million, fully guaranteed. He's 34 years old, the oldest active cornerback out of 32 teams who's on a roster right now. They need a running back, yes. You could get one later. There's some good ones, the second and third round D tackle, and they can get a receiver later. We're going to go with Will Johnson. Who's the best corner on the board out of Michigan at 21 for the Steelers. That really solidifies their team. They'll get the quarterback. Hopefully they get Rodgers, who wants to be there, I think, and we know they want him badly. And there you go. So in this mock, Dolphins at 13, Armand Membo, the guard tackle out of Missouri, finally building an offensive line here. Colts, Tyler Warren over Colston Loveland, the tight end. Warren, the tight end from Penn State. 15, Falcons, James Pierce, the edge rusher. Cardinals, Shamar Stewart, another edge rusher. Here's the edge rusher run. To the Cardinals, they need waves of pass rushers. I love this pick for them. Bengals, start building an offensive line. Bengals, please protect Joe Burrow. Kelvin Banks from Texas. 18, Seahawks, we know they need it. Gray Zabel, the guard from North Dakota State. 19, Buccaneers, Jahdae Barron, the corner out of Texas. Love this pick for them. AshtonJeanty, who else could it possibly be, right? Unless it's Omari and Hampton. Could be. Never know. We don't know who they have higher. We think Jeanty's over number one on most boards, but Hampton's highly thought of. He goes to 20. Jeanty does to the running back needy Broncos. In 21, this really solidifies their football team for the future. Will Johnson, the corner for the Steelers, at 21. So there you have it. In the next show, which will drop within the next 48 hours, we go to the Chargers. We'll start off at number 22. So there you have it. I'm Adam Caplan. This is Inside the Birds, and we'll speak to you soon.